When you look at a normal person from the front or the back, the spine is straight as an arrow. A sideways shift or a sideways curvature, either left or right, is called as scoliosis. However, about 10% of normal population have curves that are less than 10 degrees. This is not scoliosis. This is just spinal asymmetry, which is very common. Scoliosis is defined if the curvature is more than 10 degrees, and the scoliosis can be either in the thoracic region of the spine or in the lumbar region of the spine. It can be to the right or it can be to the left. Scoliosis is caused by many underlying conditions. However, the most common reason for scoliosis is idiopathic. It's a fancy way of saying we don't know why there is scoliosis. Idiopathic scoliosis, we have found that it has some genetic basis, and scientists are trying to find out what are the genes associated with development of idiopathic scoliosis. As the science advances, we will come to know in the future how these genes affect the development of scoliosis. However, there are other rarer forms of scoliosis that are associated with diseases like cerebral palsy or neurofibromatosis and other syndromic conditions. Another common type of scoliosis is called congenital scoliosis, where the child has a deformed vertebra at birth, which develops into a scoliosis as the child grows up. The simple answer is no. Scoliosis is not a preventable condition, and as I have said before, the most common cause of scoliosis, which is the idiopathic scoliosis, is not an acquired condition but mostly an inherited condition. Idiopathic scoliosis affects about 1 to 2% of adolescent children, out of which only 1 in 500 children would require some form of active treatment. Out of these, only 1 in 5,000 would require some kind of surgery for correction of scoliosis. So the more severe forms of scoliosis are very, very rare. Girls tend to get affected more commonly than boys, especially in the more severe forms of the scoliosis. There are several signs which can point towards the development of a scoliosis in your child. One might notice an asymmetry of the back, an uneven shoulder, a prominence of the shoulder blade. When the child is asked to bend forward at the waist, you might find that one side of the ribs are at a higher level. The child may have a waist asymmetry or a hip that is higher than the other. One of the legs might appear shorter. So in general, an left to right asymmetry of the back might point towards an underlying scoliosis. When there is a concern for scoliosis, usually your child will be referred to a spine specialist who will do a thorough clinical examination and most likely is going to ask for X-rays. The X-rays are studied, and on the X-rays whether there is a curve or not is clearly visible. These curves are then measured, and if the curve measures over 10 degrees, then a diagnosis of scoliosis is made. X-rays are generally done in a standing position, and we want the X-rays to include the entire length of the spine. We cannot have X-rays that take pictures of the spine in different parts. That's the only way to assess how much scoliosis a child has. Sometimes it's not very easy to predict what will happen to the curve as your child grows up. The natural history of the curve, which means what happens to the curve if left alone, is an inherent property of the curve, and more or less we know that it depends on two aspects. The first aspect is how large the curve is when it is first detected, and the second is how much growth is remaining for your child in the future. If a curve is large and if there is a lot of growth remaining in the future, then the risk of progression is proportionately higher. If the curves are smaller and your child is nearing the end of puberty, then the chance of progression are lower. Adolescent idiopathic scoliosis generally does not lead to serious health problems for the child in the future. However, sometimes adolescent idiopathic scoliosis can progress to extremely large magnitudes, such as more than 100 degrees, which can cause serious health problems. These health problems generally arise because of crowding of the lungs by the deformity, and sometimes it can affect breathing and the heart function. But most of the time, adolescent idiopathic scoliosis is a cosmetic issue and can rarely cause a chronic back pain problem in children when they grow up into adulthood.